To defy the odds, you have to risk everything and take chances. At Old Nation Brewing Company, we did just that. From an unknown startup brewery to standing alongside national craft brands in just under a decade, we remain one of the last of the large, independently owned breweries in Michigan. Our beer is respectfully brewed using only the highest quality ingredients, and we don't cut corners. With the times changing for everyone, one thing that stays the same is Old Nation's respect for great beer and the people who love it. We're growing in cans produced and fans made. When you taste our beer, you'll know why.
I want to just update this, and this is happenstance. These guys ambushed me to start the show, but it's all right. Costco is an addiction. But the opposite end of Costco value is what David said to me pre-show. And you've read this report? Yes?
I've saw a little bit of the numbers.
David, do you want to share with the people? Now, again, this is not old man yelling at clouds. It's just we have reached a point that I don't even understand what we're doing. Cooper Flagg is going to be the number one pick. You know what? So is Michael Olowokandi. You're not established yet. He's a good player. He's a very good player. And I have no problem if you said to me, hey, Cooper Flagg all in last year, he made a couple $1 million. You know what? Cool. Fine. He's viewed as this generational player. One problem. We're missing a zero. David, you want to take over here?
Yes, you are missing a zero because this came up in a conversation with Bob Costas and Howard Bryant, journalists, sports guys, longtime sports guys, about how much Cooper Flagg made during the year. Got silent in the podcast, and then quote from Howard Bryant. He had a $13 million deal with New Balance and then a $15 million deal with Fanatics. Yes, people, that's $28 million.
Plus
David.
whatever Duke paid him.
Yeah. All right. And on top, it's like when he said, I don't know if I want to come back.
Right.
And everybody dismissed it like, come on, man, you're the number one overall pick. He's taking a pay cut to go to the NBA. Think about that. And he's the number one overall pick, taking a pay cut.
$28 million.
Yeah, but that's not, then again, that's not on the NIL.
This is just a deal with these companies.
What you had heard, and again, these are all murky. I don't totally believe any of them. You had heard he got 7 to go to Duke. I mean, $35 million. He made more money than Cade Cunningham last year. What are we doing here?
And that's not even saying just some of the other piddly stuff that okay, but $600,000. All right, I'll take that.
Sure.
Money. Yeah,
I'll show up at the Children's Hospital.
Right.
$500,000. But no, I just at any level do you start to get turned off, or are you just so all in with this? You're like, Mike, it's just the way it is.
No, it is, but I knew that there was always going to be exceptions like him where you're deemed this great generational talent and you're going to get everything that you possibly can. But it has gone too far, and this is what I hope that if they get the CEO, that they can put a hard cap and say, guys, enough's enough. You're not going to do this. Because when Cooper Flagg came out and said, I don't know if I want to go to the NBA, I'm like, come on, man. Why do you have to do this? I get it. You love Duke.
Look at Yaxel Landeborg.
Yeah.
Now, U of M did a great job because I'm going to say this and then people use it against me. I don't think the figure of what they paid Landeborg it's not the figure that's insane. It's the fact that it's double what he would have gotten as a draft pick that irks me. I understand the $4 million that if you have idiot billionaires handing you their money to light on fire, God bless. Right. I don't care. But it was more, wait a minute. This kid, in concert with those deals, you're supposed to be an amateur athlete, and he has those deals while he's in school. Like, there's just no rules on anything.
I mean, imagine what Zion would have gotten. Imagine what, like, a Reggie Bush, if it was legal back in the day, would have gotten. Like, there's certain guys that are just going to break the bank, but
yeah.
$35 million. Yeah, I mean, he was in the New Balance commercial, and as soon as I saw that, I was just like, Cooper Flagg is rich already.
Yeah,
now, I thought it was one of those that once you go to the league, because he can't even wear the New Balance on campus. He can't wear it in the games.
The dirtiest secret of all is like even like LeBron making $40 million, he makes $400 off the court. I mean, the salary turns into nothing. Yeah, go ahead, Buck.
I was going to say Cooper's actually going to make more in the NBA than he would in college.
Well, he'll sign $1 billion shoe deal.
Well, no, just the contract alone is going to be more than what Duke's going to pay. Like Wembanyama's was 4 years, $55 million with $25 guaranteed. That's what a
right,
first
but Evan, that's
overall.
over a 4-year term. What
I
we're
know, but
talk-
that's 11 per year.
right.
If
But
not
it's the
more.
idea of 35 for 1 year in college.
Oh, somebody's going to pay that?
No, he got paid that.
Well, yeah, but that's sponsorships. I mean, LeBron got 90 right out of high school.
But hold
from
on,
Nike.
where did we get to where college athletes can have major sponsorship deals? This isn't what NIL
That's NIL.
is.
That is NIL.
No, it's not.
Name, image,
it's-
and likeness. That's what it's all
no,
built
no, no.
around is using.
Then what's the $7 million Duke gave him, Evan?
Well, that's something different. That's contracts within the school. That's not NIL in my opinion. Name, image, and likeness is making money off your jerseys.
the
your
NIL
shoes.
was initially for that if, Bob's car dealer decided, hey, Mike, we'll give you a car and
Right,
whatever,
like,
and you
remember
say,
Ohio State kids, they all got like Mercedes when this first happened, and
so that's what it was supposed to be. Now, he went national. Like most NIL things you thought was going to be local dealership or local, or like I said, Michigan State, their offensive line got free
Radio
dinners.
flyers.
They got free dinners at some
Yeah.
place.
they got paper plates and a hot dog.
Right. It's like, well, great. You can get nachos from LS Teco. There you go.
Ohio
if you
State,
think about it,
ribeyes, Michigan
Cooper is
State,
like an anomaly,
Costco
right?
dog.
Because New Balance is in his backyard. He lived in Maine, came from Maine. That was their local deal. They got their guy. And now that he goes to the NBA and can actually wear the shoes, like you were saying, I think he's going to.
But hold on, can I? And I don't.
But it's a one-off.
Yeah, but hold on, it's actually not. Work with me, and this isn't an attack on Kenny or his program. But
Ugh.
did you read what Kirby Smart had to say yesterday?
Yeah.
They are paying high school athletes $20,000 a month to maintain their commitment.
That's crazy.
That's depressing.
Meaning, if
That's
I
great for
commit
them.
to Kirby Smart a year in advance, they are paying me $250,000 to go to prom. Now, in fairness to Kirby, he did say if they break the commitment, they owe us the money.
Yeah, but how are you going to hold them to that?
If you decommit, you
But
owe
if
us
they
the
don't
money.
sign anything, what are they going to say?
I send a hitman. I don't know. I don't know. It's the SEC. Anything goes.
But this is where
I don't know.
No, but this is where it does. That's where you need that CEO to step in and say, no, you cannot do that. But
It's just,
yeah.
it's gotten to a point. It's
ridiculous.
paying a kid. Look, do you know what it takes to get a 5-star kid to your campus now? You have to pay them to visit.
Yeah. They'll call and be like, well, I need $100,000 just to step foot on the campus. I may or may not commit to your school, but I'll listen to your pitch.
No, the
for
Kirby
$100,000.
Smart thing I thought you'd laugh at just based on, okay, so let me get this straight. $20,000 a month to keep your commitment.
It
So here's a
is.
question. The kid from Oregon, 5-star D lineman, don't know who he is, obviously, never played it down. He commits to Oregon. Big article on ESPN.com, and Dan Lanning jumps in a pool.
Yes.
Just like the Harbaugh thing. 17 days later, that kid decommits and goes somewhere else. So what was he offered to decommit? You see the ridiculous nature of all of this?
It is. And
it's the
wh-
opposite of Costco.
No, it is.
That's my point.
It is why, for the big boy schools, you actually don't want the kid to commit because by them committing, they've now set the market. Okay, you got that much?
Yeah.
We could pay you that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that's how it's going to work, though, is other schools are going to be like, we'll pay you, Georgia kid, your 20 that you owe them, and then we'll pay you more than that because we want to have you.
Yeah, hey,
See,
Georgia
this is-
kid, I'll give you $25,000 a
This
month.
is actually a good thing that state can't get anybody to commit. We're saving money. We don't have to pay to retain anyone when you, in fact, can't get anyone. We are the Costco of college football. We are about value at Michigan State.
Are they really Costco, though?
No, definitely not.
They're not Costco.
Costco's way better.
They're not.
But no, I just wanted that article.
Save a
I
lot.
I wanted your take on that. I mean, $20,000 a month to hold a commitment. Can you imagine? What would any of us in this room, age 17, and you're getting handed $20,000 a month? The only one of us that wouldn't have been dead within 10 days is David.
I don't know about that, man.
You were on tour with MC Hammer. You would have been dead.
My cousin was on tour with him.
And if you had
remember.
$20K a month,
If I had-
Benito would have been. You
Bro,
would have been on that bus.
If I had $20K a month, I probably went out and bought like some fancy sports car
17 years old? Yeah, no doubt.
and probably wrapped it around a pole.
Remember when Justin Bieber bought like a monkey when he first got famous? I'd do some crazy thing like that. But also,
Oh, my God.
why can't they pay for driving school?
Bruh.
What are we doing?
You're right. Maybe
Here's
maybe
$20,000 high
And a
school
new
kid.
driver sticker.
and
Right.
maybe a mandatory driver's ed class while
Yeah.
you're in
Or
high
just
school.
hire him a driver at that point.
But
Who
that's where
cares?
it's arrived at, by the way, if you like college football. And again, you are all very good people out there. If you love college ball, I'm not mad at you. Just don't be mad at me when I tell you I can't take any of it serious. $20,000 a month
Man.
for a kid to go to high school and just not decommit.
Bruh. In high school, I would be looking like Mr. T. I would have just spent all of that money on chains and all of that. Yeah. I know me. And I know me back then. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Me? 17-year-old, not 37-year-old me,
Your
17-year-old
uncle
me.
never would have allowed it, and you know it.
And you think he would have seen anything I was doing?
Yeah, because you had to report for duty at the church.
Yeah,
You
not
don't
then.
even play.
David,
Not then.
David, I would have had like the entire Later flavor colors of Gators. I would have had
Wow.
pink. I would have had every color you could possibly imagine.
You would have looked like
Yes.
MC Hammer at the 1991
Bruh.
Florida Derby.
Bruh.
You've seen that. The
Right.
all red suit I showed you
I would've looked like
with the tie tucked into the pants.
Mike, I would have looked like an extra from Miami Vice.